What?
What?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Failed Save,
I love Anthony.
the one night only. Hi, everybody.
Oh,
I'm Vince
hi.
Casso. I've been your DM for season 2 of this wonderful show, and we're getting everybody together. Sans, unfortunately, Xander Jean Ray, for
Who
a
has been
nice
fired?
who's been fired from the show and shot out of a cannon. For an informal little discussion about what happened during Season 2, the cast reflecting back on the insane adventures we've had, a bit of trivia perhaps, some viewer questions, a fun little announcement coming later. But in the meantime, for now, let's just go around the table and meet all of you once more. Who are all of our wonderful players?
Hi, I'm Abria Iyengar. I played Fess. I don't know what I'm
Played.
doing here.
Wow, past tense. How rude.
I
My
love the
contract's
ED.
up.
Right
I
away.
don't know why I'm here. Yeah.
Incorrect.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Wow. Hi, I'm Sage Ryan, and I have been Dazzle, your fallen Asmar warlock so far. And I miss Fess.
Too bad she's dead.
Ugh, rude. Hi, everyone. I am Kaylee Berry. I have been Elibrit, your Turtle Death cleric, and this is Cornbread.
Yay!
Red.
We finally have Cornbread back.
Yay. Hi, I'm Gina DeVivo, and I play Asmaridian Murray, your very old, very wise paladin.
And hi, I'm Anthony Carboni, and I play Chirp Burbington, honest, forthright, and caring Aarakocra monk.
All right. And as a reminder to you all, I know this sounds like an actual intro for Failed Save,
It
the way that
does,
we're doing this right now. I
Yeah.
like, I don't like change.
So you're doing
Uh,
the voice.
As a reminder to you all, we are taking viewer questions as well, so you can drop those in the chat as we discuss, and I'll be saving them for a little bit later as you do. But in the meantime, just starting things off generally, y'all, thoughts on the season, reactions to the season, what's on your mind?
Yes, screaming.
A lot happened toward the end there. It's true. Well, how about this?
It's more birds.
To be a bit more specific, what, for any of you who might know, what was the most unexpected moment that came up in the season for you? The thing that took you most by surprise? I mean, we all have one easy answer to that.
Yeah.
I have an answer. I was surprised that you let me kill an innocent in the end there.
That was fun.
I was surprised that you made me cry, Vince, personally.
I think "let's" kind of a strong word. I encouraged it, as a matter
you
of
made
fact.
me
Because
cry.
I demanded it.
Yeah. You made me kill a civilian and made me cry. Look, I write characters that everyone in their backstory is dead. Everybody, all of them are awful or dead. And you got one little piece. You got one little thing. You got one, and you made me cry.
Yeah.
Wasn't technically a civilian for what it's worth.
Yeah, not a civilian, but an
No.
innocent.
What was
Yeah,
a soldier
definitely
put
innocent.
on
Like
your
you definitely
side?
You did a murder.
Mhm.
You did. You
You
should.
Did a
murdered.
murder on a
It was a team kill.
battlefield.
It was a team
Murder.
kill,
It
though.
was
in
a
the middle
team
of a
kill.
war.
It was a
Yeah,
team
that
kill.
was some friendly fire.
Yeah,
It was friendly fire.
It was not
Oh, we're
pro
gonna call
gamer.
Dazzle Charlie from now on.
Not pro
Oh.
gamer stats.
A Kodoroku in chat said that's on Damien. Yeah, I think we need to say this well.
That's fair.
No, I mean, I do feel completely comfortable blaming Vince for making me cry.
Oh, absolutely. It's my job.
Yay.
Well, how about the rest of you? Anyone shocked or surprised by any particular moments in the season?
That scroll.
Which? Oh, yeah.
Gina's hand is up.
My biggest surprise, I think, is Guy being the ultimate big bad
Me
and
too.
being as oily as he is all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger surprise is every time that Guy wiggles his way into our affection for like a second when we go, damn it, we can't kill this one, can we?
Yeah.
And then, but why? But why? What has happened to my feelings? And then immediately he gets killed anyway. And then we go, oh, thank God, I didn't have to be the one. Out of that. So I think every time Guy isn't immediately murdered is a surprise.
It is always surprising to me when well, it's not surprising. It's just hilarious to me when there are new people who are maybe like listening to their first episode or watching their first episode, and Guy shows up and we immediately murder him. And there's always somebody in chat that's like, "Whoa, whoa,
Cold fucking blood.
oh," and we're like, "No, it's fine."
You'll understand later.
Like
What
cutting
else?
through paper mache.
What I'll say about the Guy thing is I genuinely think that if we didn't have Guy to repeatedly murder, I think that we would kill way more civilians and cause way more chaos
That's
as a
fair.
party. Because I think
Guy's
we
a
get a
good
lot of
outlet.
our like out. Yeah, it's a big outlet for us to get our chaos out.
It's like a scratching post.
Yeah.
It's like a scratching post. That's
He's like
exactly it.
knitting, but for murderers.
I'm
Right,
just happy to be involved, you guys.
We would burn down way more towns
Wow.
if
We
we
would.
would. Let
Guy
it
doesn't realize how much of a part of the team he is. He's the
He's a
part that
murderer.
keeps all of our bloodlust in check.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Aww.
Fess
Never
died
tell
liking
him.
Guy, and I do want everyone to
You
know
did.
that.
Whoa, I
Yeah.
forgot
And
about
that's-
that.
That's
and
the
that's
biggest
why
heartbreak.
you deserve to die.
Exactly.
That's all it took.
I will say, guesting in the first season and watching the murk of Guy, I was like, whoa. Is that
The
what this
murk
show
of
is?
Guy.
And then by the time I settled in, I was like, ooh, my turn. Yeah. Okay, I have a good idea for how he's gonna die this time.
Abria, it feels like you have been with us through the whole show.
It really does.
Every time,
yeah,
like,
it does.
we have to reference something that you weren't there for, I'm like, how? Oh, right. Weird.
Like, I think back to episode 1, and I swear to God, I see you in the retirement home.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure you've been there the whole
You
time.
were there.
The whole time.
It's just like a creeper in the back, like at the beginning of Too Many Cooks, just that
You were
creepy
hiding in
Yeah.
all of
was
the
in every
shadows.
scene, but you didn't see him yet.
See, that's the thing. We just get to tell people if you go back and listen to the rest of the shows, anytime there's a shadow, you were there.
Gloomstalker.
yeah.
Ultimate Gloomstalker
There
strat.
you go. I say it every time that we get to talk about this, but Abria, when I like put together the list of people that we wanted for this show, I wrote down Abria and I bitched out. I bitched out on reaching out to Abria because I like didn't know her well enough to be like,
She's
hi,
too cool.
I know we don't
She's
have
too cool.
anything to show for this show or this channel or anything, but would you maybe want to be on it? And I couldn't bring myself to do it. So I was like, well, maybe after we do some episodes, then we'll have something to show that like we have a kind of cool show. Because
We
like
think I have standards, and that's fucking hilarious.
It tells a lot about the mental state and the self-esteem of the members of this cast that we all feel like we have to prove ourselves to friends before we can ask them to be friends.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
But it's
Let me
true of us
value
all.
my
It's-
friendship.
Yeah, I need
Agree.
to tell you what especially, I just have to tell you
Let
what
me
I bring
show
to
you
the
what-
table.
Yeah, here's what I bring to the friendship. Let me show you. I have analytics.
I promise, it's worth it.
Well, it's
It's
funny,
mostly TikToks. Hi.
I have a pitch
Abria.
to Adam for like, please be my friend.
Because Abria,
Have a pool?
I first met you and you DM'd for the Guild
Yeah.
on our Sunday show with the cast of the Guild. And the moment that one shot finished, I was like, oh, I need her in this show. Like
Grab
it
your
was
hand.
just by far the most fun I've had on the Guild's D&D. Like
Aw.
that one shot was
You clip
off
that?
the
I'm gonna send it to
freaking
Amy
rails.
and Tanya.
No,
everyone.
Okay, to be fair,
Thank you
fair,
for
we
being
do
the
have-
only guest we've ever liked.
Okay, here's the thing though, is there's a lot of
Clip
different
that and
DMing
send it to me.
styles. And I'm sure we'll get into this more on the 7th, but there's a lot of different DMing styles, but you did something that worked so well for what we were doing that night, which is you just let us just be fucking ridiculous. And then bringing that same energy to Failed Save, which is that sentence in show form. It's been so perfect. Like, you've been amazing. It's been so wonderful to have you, and I'm glad that we didn't bitch out the second time.
Yep.
Yeah, we were brave.
Y'all,
We did it. We were
I-
brave.
I don't think I can ever really explain how much esteem I hold all of you in, and how true, like, it really is like an honor just to like get to be with y'all. And a lot of streams, like, not in a bad way, like a lot of it, like, especially after like a week of doing lots of stuff, like a lot of streams can feel like, okay, that's just another thing on my schedule. And Failed Save has always been like, it's just friends, and it's very cool that it's also on the internet, and it is just the most restorative game. And like, I'm so happy to be here.
I
And-
was
and-
not expecting to cry today.
Yeah, don't you fucking cry.
Oh my god.
Don't you do it.
Oh, we're starting
You
early.
lock it down.
Oh, everyone
I'm
start
fine.
Lock it
crying.
down.
No, I'm fine. Here, look, I have cornbread.
Well,
But
how
y'all
about
are my
this?
favorite, and I can't wait to actually like see any of you
Oh,
in
we're
person.
gonna be
Yeah.
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
of us, a lot of
Like,
us have
okay.
never met in person ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
have been in the same room with Sage
Fucking
and
my own cat.
Kaylee, and that's it.
Hold on. That's not
I
true.
met-
We've been in the same room. We just didn't know each other then because I was at a Rowdy screening that you were also at.
That's right. We both.
I got
were at Cats-
confirmation from my friend who's
You
like
have shared
kind of a fan
air,
of
it's
yours.
true.
And he's like, oh no, Anthony Carboni was there. And I was like, oh, cool.
Listen, to be fair, if you were at the downtown Alamo Draft House at any time during the theatrical run of Cats, I was
Anthony
there.
was
when
there.
there was one
probably
set of
been there
paw
with you,
prints
too.
in the litter, that's when I was carrying you through a Rowdy screening of Cats.
I'm assuming Kaylee already mentioned that her and I both met Anthony at a cat.
That's where we
screening.
met Anthony.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then
They,
we did that show.
We did a Cats tabletop RPG on
We did.
the Valley Folk channel.
Well,
Amazing.
yeah, I've never met Abria or Anthony in real life.
And you never
Like-
will.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't think
hopefully.
That's right. You haven't
I'm
met
a deep
Anthony
fake.
in real
I've
life.
never met Anthony. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a deep fake.
Honestly,
So-
I know I've been in the same room as Gina, but I've
Same.
never hung out with you in real life.
Nope.
I know we've been in the same room, but I've never hung out with you.
Yep.
None of us know each other.
I
My
think
rap name is
maybe
Lil
Gina
Deepfake.
and you and I were at Ren Fair once at the same time.
I think so.
I think I stood in line at the oubliette with you maybe
Yes.
at a certain point.
I think yes. I've never gotten to do. Did I do the oubliette? I was always in line with the oubliette. I can't chug beer. It's too bubbly. That makes sense
So
to me.
Yeah, the
we
chunky
But
we all basically just became friends through this show during this horrible athlete's foot year. And we have not seen each other in person, and I'm very excited because we all now according to the group chat, I believe we are all vaccinated.
My second
Getting
dose is on the
there.
28th.
soon.
So
And
yeah,
mine's on
Doses
Sunday.
tomorrow, baby.
hell
My
yeah.
day after.
So it's entirely possible that soon we will do this around an actual table.
It is.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
for real?
wild.
That is
Maybe.
something we want. That is something that we
I mean,
are
that's
all
where
working towards.
That's where every D&D show wants to go. You know, we want to be able to have it in a live setting, us all around a table, actually interacting for real.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
hey,
Please don't
It
talk
sounds
over
like
each
such a
other.
small. It sounds. I will
Right?
still talk over everyone. It
Oh, no,
sounds.
in fact, it'll get worse.
It's
He'll put
such
his
a
hand out in front of
small
you.
thing. Like, oh, we should play D&D at a table. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Whoa.
in the
smallest
same
thing.
room.
But
Yeah.
like in the year of our Lord 2020 during the athlete's foot, it's the weirdest thing for that to be like such a huge thing to look
It's
forward
like a
to.
luxury now.
Yeah.
Right?
What? That's such a foreign
It's
concept.
a luxury just thinking of the idea of putting you all in my backyard and getting to see your faces.
Yeah.
We should
can't
build a
wait.
fort.
yes.
Yes.
All right.
And then we could stay there.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
if
camp
we
in
get back
Gina's
in-
backyard.
I have
Yeah, let's-
plenty of fort making materials.
Y'all, I know that you expected to
We're
come
gonna
here
paint a
and see, like,
stripe on it.
recap show,
Yeah.
but instead you just saw a group of
Do you
friends sitting
remember
here
the
trying to make
show
plans.
Out of the box?
Yes.
We're gonna crawl inside and
Sorry.
it'll be humongous.
Yes.
Well, I hate to steer things back toward failsafe a little
No.
Don't.
Fake.
bit.
Then
Don't,
don't,
Vince.
coward.
Yeah.
So how about
D&D in
this?
a blanket fort
Yes.
D&D in a
Yes,
blanket
Lane from Maine.
fort.
Lane.
Yes.
from Maine.
Well, I mean, look,
Oh
if we're
my
ever going to
God.
get this show in person, we're probably going to have to do some special fundraisers for equipment. So, with that in mind, maybe we play D&D in a blanket fort as one of those fundraisers. Maybe that'll be like a goal that we unlock for something. I don't know.
You never know.
One shot and
That-
down in the blanket fort. And
Yes.
we'll go back
One
to down.
shot in down.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And we
In a
make it
blanket
cozy.
fort. Y'all think we won't do it? Oh, try me.
That-
I
Yes.
got the onesie for the occasion. Do not test
Dungeons
me.
and duvets.
We will
No,
set
I
goals, and
refuse.
if we hit them, we'll unlock special streams. I don't know.
Oh my
I absolutely
God.
refuse to spend that much time in that setting again.
Too
I
bad.
refuse.
Now we have to do it because it will
Oh,
make him
God.
mad.
No, I nope.
But
I
I
won't
really,
bring the
I
voice.
That's my
love
favorite
the
voice
voice.
I've
Ellie,
ever
you're
done
my
on the show, by the way.
favorite. It's my favorite voice.
worst.
I love that voice so much. Well, see, let's talk a little bit about your characters because
Okay.
y'all play some amazing, wonderful, air quotes, wonderful people with very, very diverse and fun backgrounds, and really went on a very exciting journey in this season. Did you, and we'll go around the table a little bit here, whoever has an idea can chime in first, did you have an idea for your character's arc this season that you kind of wanted to get through? And if so, did things work out that way?
Ooh.
While you think about real answers, because you have 2 seasons to consider, I think my real answer for this is it's always fun to like come into a situation and figure out how you're going to like build connective tissue with people and like what you're going to do. So answering your early question about what surprised you the most, I didn't know I was going to have like a romance arc with Bora, which was really fun and super exciting to do and like fun to talk about and like think about and write fan fiction no one will see about.
Show it, coward.
Yeah.
Well, I've got
In
the
the
wicked
blanket
cannons.
for it.
We're gonna read it in
Right.
the blanket for it.
Yeah, that'll be another funding goal. If we hit above getting just the episode, you'll also get Bora and Fess fan fiction.
Oh my god, we can totally do
Full
dramatic
fail-safe
fan fiction
slumber
readings.
Party.
I'll do a fan picture. I'm not good at fan.
I'm sorry, Bria, though. Continue.
Oh no, you're good. Like the dumb part of my answer is I remembered the scroll the whole time and I was just kind of sitting there going like, in what context does this like become an interesting thing to use? Because like if we actually face off against the big bad, it robs a lot of like the tension that you like like I don't want to say like, oh, and now I have the thing that instantly kills her, like let's go. So it was fun trying to figure out a way to like bring this sort of like nuclear warhead into the narrative in a way that didn't feel like it was like taking the like the air out of like the tension of the like actual campaign. Okay, that's my last real answer, and the rest is all gonna be butt jokes.
I loved it.
We love it.
People in chat are
Butts.
asking for the Bora and Fess ship name. Is it Bess? Is it Fora?
Didn't we spitballed a few during the show? I could.
Yeah, I don't remember what we landed on.
I guess it's Bess or Fora.
Yeah, it's Bess or Fora.
I mean,
Like
now it's just till
both?
death do us part, because that shit's
Forest?
done.
Well, now just
How
parted.
dare you?
Dearly
And I love
departed.
how I
No, it's
appreciate
just
how the
Bora.
final shot of season 2 is just Bora holding your body in the middle of the battlefield and fade to black.
So
And
good.
everyone else running in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I was feeling inside.
No.
Oh, so
Those are the
good.
moments I live for.
It's
Dude,
so
I'm
good.
gonna know that I can't get to anybody else fast enough, and whoever is the closest to me gets that diamond. Not Fess. Not Fess.
It's very
Not
fun
bad.
dying with a literal death cleric in the group, and you're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die anyway. Ah!
Mom, look at me. Mom.
Look at me. What do you have? A scroll, and I just run.
Yeah.
As
no.
character arcs go, how about the
Get
rest of you?
out.
Where do you think your character was going, and did it take the turns you anticipated?
I really thought
Um,
that Ella was gonna be deathier. Like I thought that there was gonna be more darkness and more just like no, like we're bringing a lot more people to Fedor
Mhm.
this time.
He's
I
very
thought,
wholesome.
but then you was so wholesome. I was like, how does that like? And I knew I was always a little bit gonna be the mom of the group. I can't seem to help it. But I thought that there was gonna be a little bit more give and take. But everybody else was getting so dark, and I was like, well, it doesn't. Ella wouldn't, if she's seeing everybody else get so dark around her, she would be trying to lift them up. It's so much more important.
Yeah, I love that Ella has turned more into like she has the sort of disposition of almost like a hospice worker.
Yes,
She
Yeah.
was.
Very
Yeah,
much
which
so.
Which is
like-
exactly what she was, yeah, basically.
Yeah,
Your
but
death
she was, you
doula.
know,
But she carries
yeah,
that
she was
with her.
basically like, you know, in the beginning, we all got the idea that we were in this retirement home to sort of further some sort of our own end, and Ella was there to sort of just like deliver Fedor points or something. But it's kind of cool to watch that she's actually, that is who she is.
Mhm.
She's just one of those, she is like somebody who works at a hospice or a retirement home who is like, this is going to happen. How do we make this best for you? You
I
know?
want a prequel series like Dead Like Me about like who Ella was before we met her at the retirement
Oh,
home.
wow.
Of just
Yes,
her like
please.
doing the death work.
Well,
I
how
have
much
to
does Ella
get a
know about who
backstory.
she was before she was at the retirement home, though?
I mean, you were working for a merchant company, essentially, right?
Yeah, I was a ship's cook.
Neat.
Yeah.
But it's like spotty, right? Like I always got the
But that's just because I'm lazy, not because it doesn't exist. Like,
no. I always
Okay,
assumed
yeah,
that
by the
something
way-
happened to Ella character-wise.
Kaylee's approach to backstory in every game that she's in with me is like,
Everyone with
I'm
everyone.
like-
no, it's everyone. It's not just you. I don't just do this to you.
well, I can only assume, I only know based on what we've had together. But literally, she's like, I'm thinking like this character, like roughly, here's a skeleton, and you can just like make the rest up, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, oh, great. Okay, I'm gonna give you a bunch of weird shit then. Buckle up.
Right? I love being puzzle pieced into it, but especially when it's somebody like Vince who is
Obsessive.
I cannot wrap my brain. I am so jealous and intimidated by the way that you world build and create lore as somebody who like struggles with writing backstories most of the time. And like when I DM, I don't do any of that. I like still forget sometimes the name of the kingdom that the damsels are all playing in right now.
You're very
Think that
kind.
all the time.
And so when I know that you have so much material and you have a general plan, if I can just fit into that and be surprised, it's great. Because then I'm like, oh yes, tell me a story.
God, I feel
One
like I did the
day-
exact opposite to you.
You are.
Yeah. I looked at Vince and I was like, I want a cool murder cult where everyone's bad, but also the murder cult guy is my dad.
Really though, I really enjoy both approaches as a DM too though, because for me it's like I like being able to have some leash to like work a backstory that I think will really work well with the story into a character who doesn't necessarily want to do a lot of that to begin with. Like, you know, like Kaylee, you're like, yeah, just like whatever you'd like to do with it is fine. That's awesome. But then also seeing what a player wants to bring to it and justifying that within the world. Like, okay, well, how can we make that true in the world? Which then can give you inspirations for new things and new canons. Both are a lot of fun as a DM. And I love that this table has a nice kind of like even division of that style.
Yeah, I like to come up with, like I came up with a very detailed bio for Chirp in the beginning, but I always like considered that like Act 1 starting stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, here's what I know about him. And now once that plays out, which we sort of did this season, like we played out that entire conflict. And now it's kind of like, cool. And now he is a fully fledged person. Whatever happens to him. Here we go. And whatever the new conflict that pops up or arises, I think he's particularly at the end of season 2 here with the removal of a happy memory and also that time on the battlefield. I think shit's about to get real angry for Chirp.
Yeah.
Oh, Angry Chirp is so much fun to play with because like again, like Angry Chirp hurts my feelings. I just want to give him a hug.
Yeah, I wanted him to be a big softie. You know what I mean? And just like as soon as he was able to be a big softie and he had permission to be a big softie, it's like the nicest thing in the world for him. And he was sort of getting there, and that was all sort of taken away. You monster, Vince.
I can't help with like the slow Ivan Van Normification of the world that I like. I'm always tempted to do because naturally I DM in a very sort of gritty, dramatic kind of style. And those who've played with me in the games preceding this show obviously can attest that as well. And as much as this was intended to be a very comedic, lighthearted show, I'm like, that's all great. Y'all can do whatever you want to do. But I'm still going to bring some of my shit into it. And it just, you know, we have those dark moments, which are the ones that I really enjoy so much.
We do. I did not expect Dazzle to be labeled as a softie.
You're the softest.
You're the softest.
You're the
She's-
softest.
You ended up
He's
being
a
the
marshmallow.
softest.
Yeah.
Well, you know, speaking of... You really are, though. Speaking
All I
though
got
of-
is,
You're the one that's
Murray.
holding a kitty cat.
Yeah.
I am, and he's purring and he's being a real sweet boy.
And you just like huffed
It's
into
a
your
trap.
bangs.
Careful,
which
it's a
is-
trap. It's a trap.
Dina,
Yes.
as we know, Murray had his Silver Sterling arc this season,
Yeah.
which was a wonderful story. Actually,
Which is really Xander's storyline.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah, because like this story, I recall that Xander had this idea because he initially had the name of this hero
Mhm.
in his character's backstory,
Mhm.
and y'all got to talking, and then like sort of pulled me in a little bit too, and it turned into this whole massive arc that was a very fun story.
Yeah, it kind of steamrolled. So originally, when we had been building our characters, Xander had said that he was the reason he was at the and retirement
home.
home was to find the Silver Surfer.
In the
I've
power
been that so many times.
Dude, the amount of times I watched
the
Silver
Silver
Surfer.
Sterling.
Oh, I
God,
miss
every
that.
time.
Herald of Galactus.
Yeah, the Silver Sterling. And we kind of joked that like, oh, he's definitely here. You just never found him, you know?
Mhm.
And then yeah, so that like the first arc was definitely I just kept calling it the Stella gets his groove back. Murray gets his groove back. So that arc kind of happened. He found people immediately and was like, this is my new crew and this is great. And then season 2, it was like, oh, well, hey, Murray's kind of like messed up and he doesn't really have a lot of memories. And like the only thing he's really good at is killing, but he doesn't seem to want to do that anymore, but he does. His arc kind of went in a different way, whereas for season 2, I was kind of laying him out to sort of totally die. I had been laying him out to do some sort of like old man protect the group sacrifice if it ever arose, because I was like, well, he's the oldest, and like it makes sense that he would be like, no, I want to die for glory. Like, give me that chance.
Yo, Murray for sure has this like Valhalla-ness about him.
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah.
Dude.
He absolutely does, because
Totally
he's outlived everyone, and I think the idea of not outliving his current group would probably break his heart. And so I think, but by the end, honestly, like I knew Murray had the idea that he wanted to die gloriously, especially after the visions we kept having of like peacefully knowing everyone became heroes and all that jazz with our dreams that we had as characters, where we were all happy in this afterworld, that I started to realize the more Murray wanted to die, the less he was allowed to, because I knew everyone else in the group also was so willing to sacrifice themselves for each other. And then I sort of realized, oh, if everyone's willing to go because they love each other so much, then Murray he's not allowed to die, because he has to stick around to keep them all safe because they're so willing to die.
Yeah.
And so that was that's the arc that surprised me, was like me realizing he has to stay alive, and he'll be so bummed about it. But he kind of, even in the battle, I wanted to play him like he knew something was wrong and something bad was happening, and not knowing specifically that it was Fess that was, dying on the battlefield. But I think he knew that there was no way we were all making out of that situation alive. And so he kind of hardened and had to be the one that like was used to a lot of death and just deal with it for everyone else, so that they could be sad. And just get the job done.
I love that idea of like the guy who knew his entire life that he was going to die heroically in battle, and then wakes up one day and is 100 and is like, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. I wasn't supposed to be old. This sucks.
No, that's why the retirement home was so sad and fun to build, because it's I die where I stand. It was all the heroes that never got a glorious death. Wow. The retirement home is only full of old heroes that just never perished and had to suffer the ill fate of growing old instead of like having stories written about them.
And is that something that we ever explicitly said, or is that something that we all just sort of knew, or we all just sort of figured on?
I don't think
I can't remember
the show.
I don't think it ever came out verbatim. It's just been
exclusive
intimated.
Content.
Hey, that's exciting.
But actually, it's funny because when developing the initial season, Gina, like the entirety of how the show started, the entire opening of the plot, the retirement, all that came from you, just based on this idea, this character who's this like ancient, past his prime hero who wants to be able to be that hero, but just never had it happen. And that gave us the show, really. It kicked all this off.
It at least gave us a starting point.
Yeah. Sage, I'm so sorry, but you tried to talk like 5 times.
Oh, no, it's totally okay. I was just going to add to Gina's statement of like the role that Murray took on at the end of that episode, where it was just like, we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving while everyone else was kind of individually falling apart, was huge for me. Like it was such a like moment that I mean I enjoyed so much as Sage, but also like was everything to Dazzle in that moment of just like having someone be that kind of rock of the group. And like that isn't typically necessarily Murray's thing. You know what I mean? Of being the person who's like, we gotta get through this, we gotta keep going. A lot of the time Murray's like, huh, what?
Yeah.
Murray's like, where are we going?
As every NPC died around you.
I've been really loving Murray's to Dazzle. Murray to Dazzle has been really fun to discover. But just like
it has.
Like, oh no, I must protect until she's ready.
Yeah, 100%. And like, she doesn't know how to deal with that dynamic. And like, that's a piece of myself that I put in this character is like, what does do with Father Age Man?
With Father Age Man.
My dad is trying to kill me. What are you
ever.
doing here? Father Age Man. But like that time of watching him kind of shift into and getting to see him be the like, I'm sure like rock that Murray was as Meridian in battle.
No, absolutely not.
No, you don't know. Oh, interesting. Because like to Dazzle, that was like, oh, Murray switched into like he's all the way there for the first time ever. You know what I mean? The first time I've ever seen Murray all the way there, and like that must be as Meridian mode.
That's fun. That's fun. I'll keep a little bit.
We caught a little bit of the brutality of Murray in Izero, in the aviary, when you realized the agent you were talking to was there for the raid on the retirement home. Yeah. And it was the briefest of moments, but goddamn, you misted her.
You made a miss. I will say that I built a revenge paladin for a reason. And I will say that I don't think Murray is as wonderful in his youth as maybe Murray thinks he used to be. I think he's very vain and was very convention oriented and clearly has made a name for himself as a celebrity, but we don't actually know any of the deeds he's done outside of when he was the Silver Sterling, where he let his anger and rage and revenge really let loose. So the confidence you're seeing now in that battle, I think I was channeling a little more of what Murray wished he'd always been like, outside of just murder, because he wasn't hurting anyone in that scenario. He was having to run away from battle, which I think is very not Murray.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And his focus, I think, has shifted a lot less selfishly. I think he used to be a very selfish warrior. And this time, I think, like he said, he's had a lot of personalities, because I think he just never understood who he really was. He was always kind of striving for something. So he was the great as Meridian, he was the Silver Sterling, and he sort of always had these identities. And I think I'd had a line once that was like, I think I'm happy being Murray now, which is more him. He's finally sort of accepting himself as the hero rather than an image of a hero.
I love that.
So good.
We'll see what happens now that we've all been in that battle, though.
I know.
We're going
Everyone
in a good direction.
Love Everyone is coming out.
We're all going in such a good direction.
We really were. But that moment in the aviary, I had such a moment, and we did the Ella thing of handing the baked good, but I was waiting, watching Murray the whole time, really not sure if it was chill to kill this person. I was like, because Murray is
chill to kill.
Thank you.
Like Murray
Maybe it's always chill to kill. That's Ella has a T-shirt that says that.
It's always chill to kill.
Like Ella is the one that's like, okay, but like we want to, like we get to kill this person, right? But Murray, the last time Ella encouraged murder, Murray was not as okay with it.
No.
And so Ella had this moment, since it was just the two of them, of being like, is this going to be okay? Because I really want this person to die.
Yes.
But also, if this person dies, I shouldn't be the one to kill them. It should be Murray. So she was having this whole like quiet moment of like, what do I do here? Here's
Bless that.
Kill them with a pie. Are we gonna? And it was so good.
I was so thankful that you gave me the "can we murder them" face. this because I very much, Gina wanted to murder this person very much. And then I knew Murray did too. And I know that I had been sad previously about like revenge things. But I think it was when Murray was still just trying to figure out just what's right now.
Right.
What's allowed, what's too much vengeance, what's too selfish, what is actually for the greater good versus just something I want to do. And I think he was still figuring it out. And, you know, we all have flaws, whether murdering that person in that moment was the right thing to do or not. Who knows?
Yeah, we think it was right.
But
It's
fine. They seemed like they needed to be misted.
Yeah.
And
They took to it like a duck to water.
They did. And I was so thrilled that you gave me the face because then I was like, oh yeah, we're doing it.
Oh, it's on.
Oh, it's so fucking on.
That's the murder face.
Murder?
Your organs
no.
and says, "Is it for me?"
Excuse me, can I have blood shower?
Well, speaking a bit about that final battle, as well as, you know, all y'all out there know, the bulk of our NPC cast is now dead.
I love that choice. Hold on, now I'm going to cut you off.
Please do.
Like,
please
as
do.
a GM, I think that is the coolest thing in the world. Like, the board state that you have now for season 3, you've taken away like so much comfort from the group. And even though we spent a lot of time going like, I think he's bad, and we're gonna spend 4 episodes trying to figure out how to suss out like who we can trust. Like the rug pull. It's such a good reset for like what it feels like after a battle when like the field is depleted and all you have is yourselves. It was very cool. Sorry, I just wanted to say like that.
We also have a lot of support still around. We've got Grandma made of spiders. She's still around for us.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, everybody in Down.
Everybody in Down is still there. So we've got a lot of like
Didn't we light Down on fire?
Well, we left them the means to light themselves on fire,
Yeah.
and we're
that's
just
the
going to
important-
see what
right.
happens.
We're just gonna
Right.
see.
Judge Thickums is still there.
I'm
Right.
sort of,
Sure.
I don't mean to brag, but I'm sort of the Prometheus of Down.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's gonna go super well for them. Well, I didn't realize during the
So
final
flammable.
battle how much I was just comfortable in the fact that we had our home game, and if I recognized a familiar name in the timeline, I was like, oh well, these characters are, you know, maybe they're safe.
Nope.
And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that was just in my brain of like, well, we don't have to worry about them. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We do have to worry about them. So like, just going topsy-turvy. And of course, every time Vince poked at me to see if I would make a face mentioning the home game, which every time you mention the home game, I'm gonna make a face.
I test you every episode.
Gonna do it.
Every
Make a
episode.
face.
But like for me, like it's I also as a DM enjoyed the moment of taking a character like Philemon, for example, who's been such like the viewpoint character on the NPC side for this show, and just letting you watch him die in front of you. A character who seemed like he always had the advantage, always knew what was coming next, and couldn't really be touched. And then watching all of that come crashing down. Just watching you all experience that on your end, that's what I get out of this show. But on the subject of NPCs, we met a lot of new interesting NPCs as well this season. We have a great many more from season 1 who we haven't seen much of. For all of you, if there was an NPC who could come back or come in and either have an influence on season 3 or that you just have a scene with again, who's someone you'd like to see more of going forward?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see the kid come back from who is potentially the Silver Sterling now.
Yes.
I'm
yes,
excited.
yes.
I'm excited to see them come back and into a world that is much more dark. And meet up with us again when we have.
We are also more dark.
Yeah, we have no time for bullshit superhero garbage anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Abria looked like you had an answer.
Oh God. On the spot. I was scanning for the name because I can't remember names at all.
Describe scenario.
Description. Accent. Which voice was it?
This is a lot of pressure.
1 through 7.
Chirp's best friend.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Silas.
yeah,
Silas. Silas,
For me, I loved watching that arc, and I think it was left in this like really interesting place of like the beginning of transformation. So I'm like curious to keep checking in.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially
Well,
with
'cause
the
it was
dream
like-
scenario. You
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
talk to him.
It's one of those things like where like you have that person in your life and it's like if the two of us could just exhale for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
if the two of us could just chill for 5 minutes, I think everything would be really, really wonderful. But I don't think they ever will. I think they totally expected to kill one another. And I totally expected to wind up killing the abbot, even though I knew it was going to be Silas. And I think the only thing that stopped it from happening is like, they say when you punch a shark in the nose, it's so fucking surprised by it that it won't bite you.
The
what I mean?
audacity.
They're like, they tell you like punch a fucking shark in the nose because it's got a bunch of nerve endings there and it's going to surprise the hell out of it.
What?
I think
Who does
the abbot was so surprised. I think we were both so just surprised that we didn't kill each other that we let each other back away.
I didn't think
And
I
I-
would get this far.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like,
Exactly
oh,
it.
okay, so we're both just gonna let each other. Okay, have a good one, and it's like,
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna wise up and get angry again.
Chat picked out 2 for me. Astro Dane said, didn't Dazzle connect a student they met in a dream to a patron? I would love to find out what happened to that
Yes.
kid.
Yeah.
That kid who was getting bullied. And I was like,
Oh.
Little baby warlock.
And I
Maybe
know-
one day you all will.
I know.
Is this
so
a home
you
game
made it
thing?
very apparent. I don't know. I genuinely
It
don't even
is.
know as someone in the home game.
I can feel it.
Maybe, but he
Vince gave a
definitely made the
face.
face at the time, and he made the face at the time too when I was
Yeah.
trying to connect with the patron. Like, this kid matters, and you probably can't fuck with this storyline.
All
And
I'll
I did
say
anyways.
is I'm literally always planting seeds for either the next season or this or that spin-off show. I'm always trying to make sure we're laying groundwork for 30 other stories that we could tell that
Yeah.
then connect up to things we established in this.
That
And
kid's a
his
big
brain
bad,
looks like a
right?
conspiracy
Yeah.
board. It's all
Yeah,
so
Definitely
likely.
we definitely feel like that kid's a big, powerful bad, and we fucked
Yeah.
up, right?
I
Oh,
think
100%. We didn't do that right at all.
But the second thing was what I was gonna say. Ray in chat said I'm interested to see how the cult reacts now that Dazzle's dad is dead. So that's a big one for me. Is like there are still tons of factions of this cult. It wasn't like him and the 3 guys and now it's over. So now what? Worse, better? My expectation is worse, but also, am I new king?
Am I nuking?
Dazzle
Keep
has a
what you
cult now.
kill.
It's the
You
law.
You're king now?
It's the Chronicles of
what you
Riddick
kill.
rules. Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
if I kill your
Abria,
friends
king,
with
what's
the
up?
king.
Yeah.
What's up?
If I kill your king, I think that I am entitled to it, but I don't know.
I'm also seeing some Lirin in chat.
You're in.
I mean, that's what I was whispering at first.
I could see you mouth it. I watched you mouth it. Finch,
That's what I
Finch
thought
is a
you were
wonderful
saying
character
when you
as
were like,
well.
I was like, oh, she has
I
something
don't
to
want to
say.
talk about it.
But Finch is not an NPC.
No,
Yeah.
that's played by
Not
Rachel
NPC.
Seeley.
But we would love to
Yeah.
see
I would
Finch
love.
again.
I would love to see Finch
Yeah.
again.
By the
I
way,
never.
it never came up, but Finch was at the battle.
Yep.
Monster, do not.
You did
And
it.
we
No
just
body,
never-
no death.
No,
We
we
never-
didn't see it happen.
It's-
It doesn't
Finch
have
was
such
we
a-
We never
Finch was around the war
established-
tent. We
We
remember
never
that.
established what happened to Finch at the battle,
No.
but Finch was at the battle. So
Yeah.
Nope.
Here's
I'd
what
love
happened.
to know from chat
She-
which guests you'd like to see come
she
back
ran
or which
away.
guest characters.
and found where the provisions were for the armies and fell
Eating
asleep
the
eating bread.
she
Uh-huh.
very well might
Oh,
have. She very
red
well
nap.
might
Yeah.
have. It's
Carbo-loaded
entirely
for this.
possible.
Mm.
All the Benny and the Jets. Stop it.
Yeah.
Just Benny Antha.
Oh
Swim
my
boat.
god,
We have
David
Benny
is
Antha
fucking
is the
hot.
greatest.
Jesus Christ.
Love Benny Antha.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I
love-
loved Benny Antha so much that I immediately made fan art of Benny Antha.
Yeah,
Benny Antha was my favorite.
But also the oh gosh, what was Amy's name? The cat. The
Oh, the Cat Cavalier.
The Cat
Yeah.
Cavalier.
Love
I
that.
loved her so much.
She's so wonderful.
Wonderful character.
We couldn't be
I also-
antagonistic for too long. I love.
I also love the idea of this this geriatric tabaxi taking the
Yeah.
mantle of the silver sterling is just the best fucking thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's something that I love about the way this is set up now, that the only heroes that are left in this world are these over the hill old near death heroes. And the younger generation that has to take up arms against this big evil is a bunch of real fuck ups.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a bunch of real like sad sack fuck ups. And that's just such an interesting place for this world to be
Put
in.
that on a pillow.
Yeah.
Except for Bora.
Except for Bora.
Yeah, Bora's not a sad.
No,
sack
Bora's
or a
got her
fuck
shit
up.
together. She really does.
We'll see what happens when Bora finds out
I
that.
think that Bora might still be a sad sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
she
'cause
just
now,
got
as
a
we
She's
saw-
fight.
gonna be.
In the dreamscape, Bora sacrificed all memories of her mother to be able to make the solution. So now we're back to square one on that shit.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I can imagine we're not gonna have as peppy of a Bora.
Mm.
No.
Oh my god, what
Well-
speed is Bora's sad voice?
Oh god.
Get out of the time.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have to
even
add an
lower
hour
and
to the
slower.
show, y'all.
Yeah,
It's-
right?
It's Jormungandr from God of War.
Well, as you all know, we also had a very exciting bee story this season, which was a
Her
very
bees?
pet
Which was
adventure.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Bees.
Bees. We had to talk about bees. No, we had the very pet adventure, the quest for cornbread, where we followed the adventures of these pets. And that's kind of become like a running theme now, season to season. Every season we have this little pet side quest. Speaking as the actual pets themselves, what do you think's on their mind? Like, what's next for the pets?
Level up.
Level up
yeah,
the
they're
pets.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
due.
we've got a paladin, we've got a cleric, we've got fighters. Like, we gotta level up, get them skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I've got left now. So
I
I'm
think-
very
I think-
I
invested
think
in
you're
Huga's
just playing.
future.
You're just gonna play Huga the whole time, right?
Yeah, that seems fine.
I think
Is
the pets.
Huga on your person?
I don't remember where. Yeah,
don't
Someone
that sounds
grabbed her,
right.
yeah.
I also
sounds
think the
right.
pets are on.
I think Bora,
Bora.
had Huga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
think
Bora
Bora-
had Huga.
Huga and
Ella
Noodle,
had
I
a
think.
bunch. Ella
that's
had.
right.
I want to
think the
say
pets
that
are the real
Screech had
heroes.
jumped up on me. I think I had Screech
I
and I
feel
had
like-
Rodney.
They also might all just bounce around a little bit once in a
They
while.
do,
Like,
yeah.
They got their own thing going on.
We got
Yeah,
a
Warren
lot
had
of
Noodle.
pets.
The pets are more heroic, more focused.
Yes.
They are a more traditional
The pets are
adventuring
the better
party.
heroes.
By
the better
every
heroes.
measure.
Honestly,
They're archetypes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I love the pet adventures very, very much. I mean, look, I would like anything where I just get to play in a duo of idiots with Kaylee Bray. We are just the dumbest duo on the planet, and that is
Together, you're one whole
my
idiot.
happy place. Exactly.
Yeah.
Where we're just like hungry, stabby idiots. That's a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
I can't. I don't know how long I can keep up playing Chestnut. Not gonna lie, my whole body's like, excuse me, we are full. Stop.
Your
Eating. You didn't have to-
dedication to the Brad Pitt school of acting eating
Mhm.
as that character is just. mwah.
A-B-E. Always.
I
B.
also-
Eating.
Eating.
I also love hungry, stabby idiots because that's how I made Murray.
Hungry, stabby idiots.
Yeah.
I made him hungry and
Oh,
never
that's our
able
band
to
name.
eat.
Oh
It's
my
okay.
Yeah, that's
god.
it.
Aw,
We
bam.
found stuff for you. It was always texture. I love being able to describe my spells as food. It's
Oh, I
perceived-
fucked Murray up. There's still so much you don't even know.
So
For
many
season
things.
3, we do need to find a way to have it so Discord doesn't auto cut off Screech's actual screeches.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Sage's pitch is just
Yeah.
too high.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Zoom
I
is like,
screech
no.
a lot. I
Yeah.
screech a lot in
And we
Yeah.
there.
can't hear it.
Well, here's the thing. When we record them and I record them locally, they can hear it on the stream, but you guys can't hear it because it's
Yeah.
picking up directly from my mic and not through Zoom.
And it sounds great on the
Mm.
podcast.
Comes
Yeah, no, it
through
sounds,
in, like,
it sounds
the
great on
recording.
stream, but like when we're playing, I want to hear it.
I
yeah,
know.
that's true. My
Yeah.
immersion.
Ow, my immersion.
No, my immersion.
Well, with everything seeming kind of desolate and bleak at the end of season 2 there, just speaking from where you're standing now, you guys, you're coming off the battlefield. What do you think is next for these characters? What would you do with now all lost, everything gone? What could possibly be next for you? As Abria sits back, like, oh, please. Go.
I
Well,
think
A proper
ahead.
burial, right?
right. Oh God. Go
All we
ahead,
can hope
Gina.
for.
Go ahead, Gina.
I was just gonna say, to give you guys some time, since I know you kind of all had like something very hugely dramatic happen to you, particularly in the last episodes. So I will say, I imagine Murray's next arc. I talked about it a little bit. Was becoming the hero he always thought he was. And that, I don't know what that looks like. He got his memory back a little bit better, so he's a little sharper and is taking a little bit more charge lately, and it's not always working out, but I think Murray's next stop is that, or Murray's next stop is marrying Barbara if she's real.
Yeah, we have to
knows?
figure that out.
There's a lot of possibilities, but
Barbara was
imagine
on the
it's-
battlefield, Murray. I'm so sorry.
Damn it!
I definitely think that Dazzle's next arc is figuring out what's going on with the cult. I think at this point there's like a little bit of fixation for her of like, well, what the fuck is happening now? And like, am I supposed to be living in fear at all times of these people coming for me?
Yes.
That's right. That's going to be a big thing. And it's also something that she hasn't had time to deal with. Like, we went through this whole thing and immediately into this war, but like, Dazzle has not processed killing her father. Like, none of that happening has had any time to settle in yet. So I think that's a big part of it. And I also think that like Dazzle, and in the way that like you referenced the thing that's kind of happening between Dazzle and Murray, Dazzle is coming to a point of, for the first time ever, experiencing people that treat her like a person, and like a sense of family that she's not quite able to yet process as a sense of family. So I think that my hope for her next season is learning to rely on other people and learning to like, and I think Murray is giving her a lot of that. And I think Ella's giving her a lot of that right now.
And Abria beforehand too. There was a lot of like death and people being like, and I know you, Anthony, also have reached out to Murray about like, how do I handle death? Does it ever stop? And I think Murray's gonna, despite us having a lovely death cleric in the group, I think Murray unfortunately also has been around the most death. He's outlived everyone. So I think he's gonna be a little bit of, maybe the pressure might be too much, but the pressure of being like the one that helps everyone through grieving, because he's the only one that's done it over and over and has kind of gotten used to it, like how to grieve quickly and well and as safely as you can.
Ella and Murray are gonna have to be mom and dad.
I don't know if Ella's gonna be able to do it. I think this is the crisis of faith time for Ella. I think this is Fedor has taken someone, and I disagree. I don't think it was her time, and she had more to do. And so now it's like, I had the power.
Talking about Finch, yeah.
Always about Finch.
And then we're talking about Barbara.
We're talking about Barbara.
So,
Barbara didn't
on the
deserve that.
battlefield.
She just discovered her kinks.
That lady was too
right?
kinky to die.
Kinky to die.
Okay, that's
Too
a
kinky
t-shirt.
to live, too
Can we
kinky
get
to die.
I need a shirt. I want the stripe
Too
in the
kinky to
background
die.
of your like office.
Yes.
Just too kinky to die and like.
I will make this shirt for you, Abria.
Yes!
Next
Love
failed
it.
save shirt, too kinky to die, with just 70s wall stripes for some reason.
Well, Kaylee, it's funny you mention that though, because I think Ella also will have an interesting role to play in the coming stories, because although it didn't go into a lot of detail, Philemon also seemed to put an amount of faith in you, in that you might be able to steer the story a little bit to what he thought was the correct outcome. What that meant, who's to say? But he's gone now, so it's all y'all.
It was wild. He put a lot of trust in me, and it was one of the reasons why we were running the opposite direction. I was watching all those people die. I'm like, has to be for a reason, and then going back and seeing Fess and having this person be surviving and Fess not surviving because I trusted somebody else who is also now dead, and feeling like and not immediately seeing the this is the signs that this is clearly the right action, I think she's gonna have trouble with that.
Mm-hmm.
Could I just jump in and say how much I love Ella actually processing this? Because I think the thing I never said out loud for Fess is that she went through that same problem of not self-actualizing in the tent when she had an opportunity to go after Teresa herself, but she did what heroes do instead of what soldiers do. And the fact that the battle still ended up having to happen and it was going really badly, she forsook the oh, it's nothing to be a hero then. Better to be a soldier and go do what I was told to do, which is finish the fight. So having someone to watch and actually process that arc, and Ella is just way more emotionally intelligent than Fess ever was, is going to be so exciting to see in season 3.
And
I
speaking
think,
of what has come before and what might be coming yet, this is actually a great time for us to premiere a little video we've made for all of you, a sort of best of supercut of season 2, and a little announcement at the end. Let's go ahead and roll that tape, y'all.
Yeah. Okay, stick around. We'll be back to talk more after.
Yes,
Oh my
don't
God.
go anywhere.
Okay, everybody watch the stream.
I'm going to leave. Okay, goodbye.
Don't go anywhere.
Laura, I love you.
I love you too. I hope that I can make you understand that I'm sorry.
I feel like even though everyone said it's okay, they're never gonna forgive me.
I fear what might be coming next. Don't make me laugh, please. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Failed Save. Nope.
Who the fuck's blood is this?
And we have a confessional. For a tree, for the horse, a random chicken. Chicken out.
Do you take constructive criticism?
No.
I would just like to flick a little Eldritch Blast backwards at it.
I'll
You know
carve
what?
it in your flesh. I rolled a 1.
Oh my
bring
God,
down
you
a
guys!
dinner.
Oh, there's a spot right here.
Oh my God, no.
I said piss me.
I'm not familiar with the term.
It's what you are. You
We're
can
all-
tell your friends.
Look how hard I am.
No, go on.
Oh no, Murray's getting too old.
Don't say that, voice in my head. I'm never too old.
What's up, Narc? I mean, Sticky's sort of our thing.
Mooch on the forehead.
And you stick.
You can't do it with the fingers. How dare you?
Okay, I think I figured it out. It's because if we were little kids, your nickname would be Tattletella Ella. That's why.
And you hold her for minutes that feel like hours. And you're not entirely sure when it happens. But at some point, as you sit on that battlefield, Fess leaves.
We're
Yeah.
idiots, but we're well-meaning idiots, and that
Mm,
counts for
true.
something.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was great!
Hey, that's soon.
Why do we look like babies?
We've lived a whole life since
Season
then.
2 was 80 years long.
It was.
Y'all, we are 3 weeks out from coming back for season 3. That is May 14th. The show comes back for season 3. Yay!
Y'all,
Oh,
I gotta just say, I forgot half the crap that happened there until I,
I know,
saw it
right?
again. Oh my God, that was amazing.
Yeah, everyone has so many good moments. I watched that back and I remember messaging our behind the scenes chat with Kaylee and being like, we have a really good show. Like, yeah.
It's a solid piece of work.
We did a good thing, y'all.
Right? It really genuinely, as somebody who this channel was once just a dumb idea that we had, that I had a real fucking moment watching back that video and knowing that this was the one of the first shows we had in mind, being wow, this came out so much better than I could have expected.
We have tricked so many smart, talented, creative, hilarious people to do a show with us, and we've tricked more smart, hilarious, crazy people to show up every week and watch
And we
it.
got them on lifetime contracts
and
too.
yeah,
Like, it's amazing.
no one can ever leave.
Yeah, it's
and
like
that
old school
includes
Hollywood
you.
contracts.
Really didn't read the fine
That
print.
includes you in chat.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
are
on their
yeah.
lifetime contract of being here. Everyone who has subscribed or been gifted a sub in particular, as Alonzo always says in chat, I'm sorry, you can never leave. You're
It's in the
stuck
fine
forever.
print.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, wow, what a great bunch of memories there. And yeah, season 3 coming on May 14th. We're all going to be excited to be back. On that note, we actually grabbed a few questions from chat, from the Discord, from Twitter as well. And y'all can feel free to keep dropping them in there if you have any. Oh, I love the little figurine. I can't wait to use those more, hopefully, one day.
When we're in
Oh,
person.
should I just throw mine away? Should I just throw it away?
Oh, no.
Yeah, you.
I just
That's a
get rid of it?
that's
Throw mine
decommission.
away.
That's a dead action figure. That one's no longer in print. Toss
Which
it.
means it might be
That's
worth
fine.
something.
I
probably not.
also have a chirp right here.
Yay!
You should have everybody.
That's the problem. The fesses are worth something because they're super rare, and she was a beloved character. Everybody's got a chirp. Chirp
We got a
came in like
first
the bottom
edition
of fucking.
fess.
Yeah, it's like they made too many chirps.
Yeah, we got a fess. That's a fess, right? I got a fess right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little fast.
Camera doesn't want to
It's
see
like-
it, but
Yeah,
there it is.
because she's
It's like all the
dead.
kids who got
It's
Jar
the
Jar
ring
or
now.
Constable Zuvio or some shit.
Oh,
It's just like,
God.
oh, all right.
Well, so we had a question from Grumpy Steen asking, why is Guy so oily, and how does that
Ew.
relate to his
Yeah.
previous career of being juiced?
I mean, that's a question for you, Vince.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah.
one who decided
I-
he was oily. I don't know.
I gotta
when
be
you
honest,
decided he
every
was
time
oily.
we spawn Guy to life, I make up some new horrifying bullshit about him on the spot.
Yes.
And I'm like, so Guy, and again, it blows my mind that Abria wasn't here for Guy's inception, but in episode 2 of this show, when you visited the potion shop just north of Stand, and there's this guy, Phil, the guy, by the way, an improv from Hilga that brought that character to life, essentially, because she needed blood of the guy for her potion.
Yeah. Thank you, Whitney Moore.
Yeah, and we had
Yes.
a whole bit about how he gets juiced in the back in the juicing machine, and
Yeah.
then at a certain point, I don't even know how we brought the guy. You know what it was? Okay.
It's because you use the same voice.
It's because you have
Yes,
eight
it's
voices.
because we keep using the voice over and over again.
That's
And
it.
so it's
It's
like, fuck it, he's
everybody.
everywhere.
Yeah, everybody. It was every like lowly worker that was like, I'm a stable boy, or like, I take tickets, or
And
you know.
yeah, we'd just be like, "Guy, is that you?" And he'd be like, you got me."
Yeah. It was just Vince has always done, and all of the time I have been playing with Vince has always done that exact voice for everybody in those roles. And it wasn't
Squeaky
Guy. It
voice
was just,
teen.
Yeah.
Every
It's puberty teen. Yeah.
exactly.
For every silly little non-essential NPC, like you mentioned the ticket taker, where he actually was a ticket taker in a different game. It's
Yeah.
every time there's like just some random worker somewhere, he's just like, I'm just like the intern, you guys. I'm just like here to stamp the papers. Like all just one of those guys. And now
I
he's
can't
an
hear that
elephant
voice
horror.
anymore without feeling like violent. I
Yeah.
know
I
that.
saw it in your eyes, which is
like,
wild.
"Oh."
It's a word, like, you know how like sleeper agents have like an activation word?
Yeah.
Like that's
That is apparently mine.
The Winter Soldier.
We're all the Winter
Yeah.
Soldier.
Yeah.
Soldier.
R. Nietzsche said, or asked, was there ever a chance in hell of the cast just winning the big battle at the end of season 2? And that's actually an interesting question because I want to ask you all as well. What motivated, and you've talked a bit about it, but like what motivated some of your choices in that big battle? Because there were a lot of forks in the road. There were a lot of options you could have pursued. And so like for you, what made you feel like that was the right choice for you to do in that moment? Whether it's going after Losha, or whether it's trying to escape the battlefield, choosing to not help Deriza, choosing not to engage with Polemos, like what motivated those choices for you as the players?
I didn't have a plan until you had Deriza give her speech. And her speech was exactly the that's like when we talk about like Winter Soldier activation, like we've always made jokes about Fess being like a child soldier. I'm like, that's the thing. That's the thing that you teach someone to like subsume themselves to like a greater good. And there's no way after everything that she's seen, even though she knows what she's giving up, you don't hear that and then like not respond to it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chirp is the opposite. He hears something like that and he's like, "Oh, this is dogmatic bullshit."
I love when you were like, "Is this
Yeah.
a cult?" And I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
it is though."
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
Military,
this is
absolutely.
dogmatic bullshit. We have got to get out of here. We've already lost. Especially, I think when Chirp saw Lirin marching, saw the spy master marching into battle, he was like, "Oh, they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
They have no idea what they're doing. We've got to get out of
To
here."
be fair, they didn't expect Losha to be Losha in that moment.
They didn't
We
expect
tried
Losha
to
be
tell
Losha.
them.
Yeah.
And that's actually
And that's
'cause
poor planning on a war's part.
Right.
Yeah.
When
as much. Sorry, Sage, please.
Oh no! But,
Go ahead.
when it comes to like Dazzle in this situation, Dazzle has no fucking idea what she's doing. And like, look, she's always like, kind of flying by the seat of her pants, but she feels in control of it most of the time, and she's not afraid of it most of the time. I feel like the last quarter of this season, Dazzle has been falling out of a tree and just hitting every branch on the way down, and like has no control over it in any capacity. So she is just skating by for the last like quarter of this season. It was just like taking the punches as they come, and it felt like constantly. I think the scene where we're being told to like rush out and that we're failing and that it's all falling apart, she has felt like that for 5 episodes. It's constantly just this like being pushed along without having the time to process anything that has happened, of just keep going on to the next horrific thing that's about to happen and like just ignore it and keep moving.
Yeah, and I know, like, Ella's kind of felt that way too. And then the last couple interactions with Philemon was making her feel like there was some kind of, not purpose, but like somebody had kind of an idea what was going on. And she like works really well with instincts, and she can kind of get like that there's like signs, and she's a religious human, or she's a religious turtle. So she's like, yeah. I'm gonna hang on to this because there's nothing else to hang on to, and I have a mission and something, and so I like, otherwise a death cleric in war, that's overwhelming.
Yeah.
How do you choose? She has 1 diamond, and she had to choose between keeping one person alive or choosing who gets to live. And I think she decided to do the thing that was easier, or she thought would hurt less. And she's going to regret that.
And it was interesting for me as a DM because I specifically wrote that final episode to be very open-ended in that how you chose to solve this problem and who you might have wanted to either made sure didn't survive or who you might want to save. Because, you know, you, Ella, you had the ability to bring someone back from the dead. And I knew that, for example, Deriza was not going to survive this encounter, but that she could be brought back. I knew that you'd have an option to kill Polemos, but you might not choose to engage him. I knew that Abria, you could use the scroll to kill Losha, or she might survive the war. And so all of these things, there were so many different permutations I tried to plan for, because just not knowing what the hell you would go for and seeing how it turned out. And now we have a
Chirp could have
situation.
done a cool flip kick and ended the whole war.
Yeah. Why didn't
That was
Why
option
didn't he-
W.
Why didn't you?
Didn't think about it.
Hurtful.
Too cool to do it. That's the problem.
You could if you wanted to, but not when you're watching.
He could have done like the coolest, toughest flip kick and ended the whole battle in one flip kick, but like, I don't know, didn't feel like it.
So now we have a situation where the extended NPC cast is dead. All you really have left with you is Lirin. Fess is dead. Losha's dead. Polemos is still alive, however.
Say Fess is dead again because it's funny.
No.
I don't like to hear
We'll
it.
see if
No,
Pope
she's dead.
survives.
No, Fess is dead.
Yeah.
Fess, very dead.
Super
Very
dead.
Oh,
So
good
dead,
question,
y'all.
Pastor Dane. What happened in Azik? Did we
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
dead.
She was
Oh, yeah,
on the
Nazik's here.
battlefield. No, not Zeke escaped with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, we established her very briefly.
Yeah,
in the
she was
final
with us. She was
scene.
running. She was running with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, until she died.
She just tripped and died.
Yeah. She tripped. It was like one of those Tomb Raider death cut scenes that comes out of nowhere. She just tripped over. She tripped over a root and got a spike through the face. Had nothing to
Oh
do
my
with the
God.
battle.
One wrong turn.
Oh boy. Well, y'all, I'm very excited for season 3 of this show coming up May 14th. We already have a lot of plans in store, as a matter of fact.
Bria, what are you going to do with your Friday nights now?
Oh my God.
Okay, so
Y'all,
I know, to be clear though, it's a fun bit, but
Yes.
Abria is not leaving the show. Want to be very clear.
Hold on. I've got like 3 weeks to just become an absolute train wreck and then never show up.
Yeah, figure it out, you know?
In fact,
Yeah.
Maybe this is your time to become like a really undependable, like, fuck up. And
I
we
don't
just
believe
never
it.
see you
I
again.
want it. I want that.
Chat seems like they will riot if we don't answer whether any guests will be reoccurring in season 3 from previous seasons.
I mean, anybody
is it
who
any
says
guest?
yes.
Is it any guest? Or are
It
they
could be
specifically
anyone.
asking?
Aren't they
are
specifically- yeah.
I've seen
asking
Squangarlo about
about
16
one
times. And
person.
Yeah. Well, DeBear in general asked in the Discord, so I chose to give it a general take on the question. But yes, we would love to bring guests back, and Dazzle very much hopes so.
And that's also also a way that because I try to work
Yo,
with
but that
the
dude
guests.
dead, though.
That dude dead.
Yo, but we saw
Squangarlo
that
is
dude
not
die.
dead. We
No,
did
you
not
didn't see it.
Squangarlo
Only
die.
I saw it.
An illusion. Well, yes, Dazzle
Yeah,
saw
Dazzle
an
saw
illusion.
We watched Dazzle just murder
Specifically
an ally.
specifically asked at the end of the episode how much of what we saw was real, and the answer was, well, all of it in a way. Yeah.
How rude.
In a way.
How rude of you.
So that
Rude.
dude's dead, but hopefully Beniantha the Rock is still
Yeah,
alive.
we still have Beniantha.
Oh boy, well you know what? That's
Beniantha.
also why, and I think I almost called you Fess, like sincerely,
Yay!
Abria. Oh my God,
I'm Fess.
Abria.
Only Fess.
You can also attest to this and how much we work together to help like weave Fess into the world, but this is also why I work with every guest we bring on to make sure their character has a backstory and is very well justified in the narrative, so they can reasonably come back in at any point and have a story to tell in that moment. And I know I can speak for all of us when I say I've enjoyed having every single person we've had on this show so much, and I'd have any one of them back in a heartbeat, and plenty of new ones as well. So you never know.
Except
Stay
for those
tuned.
that died in the battle. and we
Except for
saw
the
it.
people who are on the battlefield, mostly.
So we're not
Barb.
bringing back. Well, by those rules, we won't be bringing back Lin-Manuel Miranda,
Nope.
Donald Glover.
Nope.
Oh man, he won't
Nice.
return my calls.
I think we'll start the season, and Murray's going to be searching to see if Barbara was real and alive.
Yeah.
Dazzle's going to be searching to see if Squangarlo is alive.
Chirp is just going to
Aura's
be
gonna be trying
punching
to figure out how to
Liren
bring
in the
Fess
face
back.
over
What?
and over
Don't
and
you
over.
do it? Not his beautiful
But
face.
Liren has
Well, their beautiful
Liren has an
face.
Australian accent. You can't punch them.
Oh,
They're too charming.
Chirp.
It's no,
Chirp hates
Australians are like
Chirp hates
sharks.
them.
If you punch it,
They're so surprised. They're like,
Aussies don't operate by shark rules. Oh
Yeah,
no.
they do.
yeah,
They
no,
go,
if you
every
punch him in the nose,
Anyone,
person.
if any
It shocks them if they can't
nationality
attack
of
you.
people were gonna operate by shark rules, though,
It would be the
Really.
Australians.
it would be. If you punch him in the nose, they just don't know how to respond and they won't
They
attack
have a,
you.
they have
be
a lot
fair,
of
neither
nerve
do I.
endings. People
Don't
from the
punch anybody.
Commonwealth, just
Don't
right
punch
here.
anybody.
Anyone in the Commonwealth.
Speaking of someone from the Commonwealth, real ouchie right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine a turtle nose would be unpleasant.
I
Yeah.
bopped Kaylee in the nose once when we were just hanging out just to see what would happen. She froze up for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Ooh, you hate
Yeah,
to see
she-
that.
Wow.
She was just like,
Her jaw loosened. She let go of your leg. Like it was perfect. Well, y'all, it's been great. It's been great chatting. It's been great talking.
I have to go.
I'm so excited for
It'd be
season
a
3.
failed save if I didn't cover my camera at least once.
That's true.
That's true. I'm so excited for season 3 also.
yes.
Mhm.
Y'all, if you're not on the Discord, make sure you get on there. That's where a lot of the failed stuff, shenanigans, failed stuff, failed safe
Yeah.
stuff,
Failed
shenanigans
stuff
happen.
is what the name of this is. Every
This
post
is
show is
failed
failed
stuff.
Good
stuff.
stuff.
All right.
Failed
All right.
stuff.
You're right.
And
This is
also check
failed
out
stuff.
the Patreon because that helps keep the channel up and running and allows us to do all of our shenanigans as well. And you can influence a story in fun little ways as well
Absolutely
for
right.
being a patron.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun things. We have one slot open for our TTRPG tier on Patreon that has been completely full since we launched it. So there's one spot open right now if you want to play a monthly TTRPG with us. The DM this month is Rachel Seeley.
You
Mhm.
have the chance
Ooh.
to play in a game run by Rachel Seeley. Run,
That's
do
high
not
value.
walk.
That's
Yeah,
high value.
It's
Real
really
good.
I do want to mention because somebody mentioned it here in chat. We do want to give a shout out to our TD Calmer who's here every
Oh,
week,
what up,
who makes it
Calmer?
happen.
The voice
We want
in
to
our
give a
heads.
shout out to Chase, our audio engineer, who makes the podcast version of the show
I'm so
happen.
sorry, Chase.
Yeah, we're sorry,
yeah,
Chase.
we are
So
so
sorry,
sorry.
The shit we say that y'all don't hear that Chase
Oh
has
my
to deal
god, the
with.
stuff on BRBs are like while we're doing the tech call and early recording.
Oh God.
One day he's going to release it all.
Chase
Yeah.
knows
Listen,
too
Abria
much
can
about
never
us.
run for office. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Abria can never run.
We also want to thank our mods. We also want to thank everybody who shows up every week, everybody who supports us. Thank you.
Y'all are
babies.
amazing.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much for
much.
being
We
here.
couldn't do this without y'all.
100%.
And stay tuned. Now can we talk about the DM thing as well?
Yeah, please.
Okay, Drake. So y'all,
Oh, yeah.
before the show comes back live, we have a wonderful lineup of amazing GMs who are joining us on this channel May 7th at, was that 6:30 as well?
Yes.
That was just a real interesting time for you to clear your throat.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I say?
GMs.
It's definitely happening.
Oh, did it sound that way? Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, it was also
I liked it.
GMs and considering most of the people who will be on that round table are staring
Yes,
at you
like
like
half of them are in the room.
It was so shady and I loved
It
it.
I was
was
like,
Oh,
oh,
I
so
totally
shady.
tried to
no,
frog
we
my
have some
throat.
like
I
really
had no
excellent
idea.
GMs.
GMs. We have some amazing GMs.
Oh, well, okay, all right.
Here's the
That's what it was.
thing.
That's exactly what it was.
Anyone that was
spot on.
here and heard that, step your game up. Vince doesn't respect
right,
us yet.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're still not respecting. It's fine.
We
Okay,
did
we
a
got
terrible
myself, we got
GM
Kaylee
friendship
Bray.
portfolio.
Yeah, what's happening?
We
Tell us
got
what's
Abria
happening.
Iyengar, we got Gina
Who?
DeVito, we got Rachel Seeley. We got an amazing group of folks who are going to be joining us to talk all things GMing and, D&D. So y'all, if you ever wanted to know what goes into DMing a game of D&D or developing a show like this and the narrative involved or just running players, if you want to know more for yourself, you just enjoy that conversation, you have questions to ask, this is the place to do it. May 7th at 6 or 6:30 Pacific
6:30
time?
p.m.
6:30 p.m. There it is.
Pacific
Or if you
time.
just really enjoy
Pacific
the
time.
sweet beans and you want to listen to them
Pacific.
talk.
As
Yeah.
a young boy just starting out in the world and wanting to DM very soon, I am going to be moderating this thing, and I'm very excited.
Oh, yes, indeed. Modern about our very own Chirp Burbington in character. No.
Yeah.
In character.
In
my God,
character.
There will be
Imagine.
no questions answered, only asked and interrupted.
We're just gonna talk about penny
Pennywhistle.
whistle, which you don't remember.
Don't
All
remember
34.
penny whistles.
I know who's gonna
What
take the
penny
penny whistle.
Well,
Tune in May 14th to find out season 3 of Failed Save, y'all. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for being here, for giving us your time.
And
For
hey,
those-
thank you to you, Vince.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
Vince.
I play
Vince
a
and
very minor
Elizabeth
role here.
Queso.
That is
Vince
not
and Elizabeth
true.
Stories.
Vince and
Queso.
Elizabeth Queso.
Oh, boy.
I also
Thank
want
you.
that on a shirt, please.
Oh yeah.
Vincent Elizabeth Queso.
We're gonna make him a boo.
Absolutely.
We're
I'm
gonna
gonna
DM
drop.
goals.
I'm actually gonna drop my. I made a cheese emote on my own
Oh
channel.
my god, that's so
because
funny.
people call me queso so much. It's
Yeah.
just cheese with my glasses on it.
We are low key, and I already said this once on the internet, so screw it. We are low key working on maybe our first merch for Failed Save right
Mhm.
now.
I've seen some
It
of
is
the stuff.
In progress. So get excited about that. We should have that a little after the show starts for season 3. Some cool stuff that you could get.
It's just
Maybe-
a T-shirt that real big says "Get fucky."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too kinky to
That's it.
die.
Well,
That's
I
it.
already
Kinky
have.
to die.
I already have my.
I wrote down too kinky to die. I think that's a cast shirt. I don't think we could possibly sell that.
What?
No.
That thing would
Right.
sell out in
It
a
would sell out
fucking
so
heartbeat.
I was
I
gonna say,
literally
everybody.
I
Afraid of
have
money.
a list of shirt names.
We
or
can't
shirt
sell it
ideas.
because we're
Send
afraid
them to
of
me.
money, and we
Yeah.
don't want to be successful.
that's-
Y'all, if you have requests for merch, we're going to be doing a bunch of different drops of merch so that we can make everything fun. And I want a whole wardrobe of Failed Save shirts. So
Same.
let us know in the Discord if you have any requests. But stuff's incoming, so that's really exciting. We love you very much. Thank you for supporting this silly adventure of ours and letting it be possible to exist. We genuinely could not and would not do it without you.
Ah, it's the best.
And let's all go around the table one more time. Say who
Yeah.
we are and where to find us.
Oh, okay. Hi. Every time it's a lot of pressure to have to do it first. I'm Abria Iyengar. Follow me on social media at Quiddy, Quiddie. On Wednesdays, you can catch me for season 2 of Into the Motherlands. Yeah, we just premiered. It was really fun. On Saturdays, except for tomorrow, you can catch me over on GaryCon. GaryCon. Yeah, no, it's not Gaxmore anymore. It's GaryCon Live. The names keep changing, and I can't be held responsible for remembering it. But it's twitch.tv/GaryCon Live for the Gax Pack. And you can catch me on the Critical Role VOD or on YouTube for Narrative Telephone, where I made a Snyder cut of a 2-minute thing, and I made it 4.5 minutes because I just loved it. Scenery. It was a nightmare. Cool. That's it. Thank you.
Amazing.
So cool.
So cool.
It's not cool.
You're so
But
cool.
you're so cool.
I can't turn off my camera.
Hi, I'm Sage Ryan. I go by Not Sage everywhere on the internet. I stream on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. I'm also on the Smosh Games channel every Monday for Board AF, our board game show. It's very, very fun, and I think it's very good. I'm also on the official Dungeons & Dragons Twitch and YouTube channel every single Thursday for the Black Dice Society, which is a spooky D&D 5e game set in Ravenloft. And we just did episode 4, and it's been spicy so far. It has been spicy, and it is only getting spicier. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm around.
And I'm Kaylee Bray. You can find me on Twitter at Hoppa Barbarian. I am the dungeon master for Damsels, Dice, and Everything Nice, the Princess D&D show. We air on Saturdays, so catch us tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time with the lovely Sage and several wonderful princesses. We're like ramping up to our big bad, y'all. So there's some like intense stuff happening. Maybe get some like fun little lore drops because I actually have now written backstory for my characters in my campaign. Maybe, who knows? And then you can also find me on Mondays at 8 a.m. on the Roll20 Twitch channel for Kids on Bikes. And at the end of the month, I am running a game for Jasper's Game Day to support Fenway and her wonderful cause. So just follow me on Twitter. I do a lot of stuff, and it's very hard to keep track of, even for me. So that's where I live.
Hi, I'm Gina DeVivo, and you can find me online at Pocket Gina. I don't have anything in particular to plug except next Monday over on Q Times, the Bonnie Gordon of the lovely Library Bards, well, and half of the Library Bards, is GMing for the first time. So please go support her.
Wow.
It is going to be really a wonderful game. It is a fundraiser unlock. So this was a lovely opportunity thanks to the community. So it's going to be really fun, and I want her to have so much love. So she knows she did a wonderful job. Even we all know she's going to do wonderful.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's the only thing coming up. Everything else I'm working on is not for television. I'm just fabricating a bunch of stuff. That's all.
Hey, what's up?
Puppets.
I've got a new line of artisanal cheeses that I am selling.
You were just going to say eating.
Head to, and eating mostly. Hi, I'm Anthony Carboni. You can catch me here on this channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning with Sage Ryan. We do a morning news show called It's Too Early, and it's the best morning show that's ever been made ever.
The only morning show.
And the only
Indeed.
morning show, and we can't believe you haven't been watching it. What the fuck, y'all? So come check that out.
You know who you are.
Abria's been there. We see
I go
Abria
there
in
sometimes
chat.
when I wake up.
Yeah.
And then the one time I woke up early enough.
That's true.
I literally woke up and went, oh my God, I can make it for the stream.
It
And
really
then I
does.
immediately went there.
It
But
really
also-
does stab us right in the feels when our friends show up.
It's
But
the
also,
best.
like, listen, if you don't get up early, we don't get up early either. You can tell by how we are on the show. But if you don't get up early, you can head to the PixelCircus YouTube, which, did you know that's a thing? That's a thing. And the episodes go up every afternoon. Hey, there are episodes of Failed Save up there too. There's
It's
all
true.
kinds of stuff. You should go
And
check that out. Damsels? Name a show on PixelCircus. I bet it's on the fucking YouTube. Dare me.
Yeah.
Dare me.
That's all. It's on
Maria, you look like you want
That's
to
all the
dare
ones
me.
on the
Do
YouTube
it.
channel. That's all the ones on the YouTube channel. Actually, we do have other ones, and they're not. I don't.
Are they not?
No, because
I was gonna say one time on the internet.
We have a
like,
podcast. The
it's a
podcast doesn't
podcast.
go up on there.
Also, every Friday, today is Friday, which means you can do this now. You head to wehaveconcerns.com and you can find my science comedy podcast with Jeff Kanata. It's very good, and you should listen to it right now. Go.
Right now, the show's
Yeah.
over, so you might
Yeah.
as well.
Show's
might as
over.
well.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Download the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm Vince Casso. Hi. You can find me online at Twitch, Twitter, Insta, TikTok, everywhere at Vince Casso.
You have a TikTok?
And I have a brand new TikTok.
Aw.
Are you going to shave your head for TikTok?
Why not?
Yeah.
If he joins a new social media, he shaves his head. That's the rule.
It's true. I joined Twitch and I shave my head. It's just what I do. Well, come on back for the DMs show on the 7th and for season 3 on the 14th. I love all y'all. Thank you so much for being here, for being awesome. And we'll see y'all in the next one.
Bye, friends. We love you.
Goodbye.
Except for Fess, who's dead.
No.
Except
Oh
for
yeah,
Fess is
I'm
dead.
dead. I'm done.
And Barbara, who was on the battlefield.
Boo.
No, Barbara's too kinky to die.
Too kinky.
Too kinky to
I
die.
didn't say
It's
she was
okay,
dead. I
thanks.
said she was there.
All right, please do. Thank you.
Take us away.
Bye, y'all.